Have you ever felt like you're just sending out all these requests to the universe, for success, for love, for a bit more abundance, but all you get back is, well, silence? We're going to flip that entire idea on its head. We'll dig into the thought that maybe the secret isn't about asking louder, but about finally learning how to listen.
And it's super frustrating, right? You're doing all the things. You've got the affirmations, the vision board is up. You're trying so hard to broadcast your desires out into the cosmos, but nothing's happening. It can really feel like you're just shouting into a void.
So here's the core idea. We've kind of mistaken how this whole communication thing works. We think it's a one-way street. We're so focused on transmitting, on sending out our wish list, that we've completely forgotten about the most powerful part of any conversation, actually receiving the reply.
Okay, so why does it feel like the universe is giving us the silent treatment? Well, here's the thing. It isn't. The signal is always there. The problem is our own minds are usually just way too loud and chaotic to actually pick it up.
You see, the universe is constantly sending out this clear, guiding signal. It's supportive, it's steady, but our inner world, oh man, it is filled with static. All that noise of I need it now, the constant chatter of fear and self-doubt, and that endless looping overthinking, it literally just drowns out the very subtle frequency we're trying to hear.
I want you to think of it like tuning an old school radio. When you're turning the dial and you're between stations, all you hear is that loud, fuzzy static. But when you dial it in just right, bam, the music comes through perfectly clear. A quiet, aligned mind is what tunes your inner radio to the right station.
So this brings us to the actual solution. We have to cultivate a quiet mind. And no, this isn't about emptying your head of all thoughts. It's actually something way more powerful and, thankfully, much more achievable.
And this is such a crucial point. The goal is not to stop thinking. I mean, let's be real, that's pretty much impossible. A truly receptive mind is simply one that has stopped fighting with itself. It's a mind that has stopped sending out those constant, exhausting waves of resistance, fear, and doubt. I love this metaphor. A mind that's just churning with chaotic thoughts is like a choppy lake. The surface is all disturbed and any reflection is just a chaotic, blurry mess. But a still mind is like a perfectly placid, glassy lake. Its surface becomes a perfect mirror, able to clearly reflect the wisdom of the sky above it. So we know we need to find that inner quiet, but how do we actually do that, especially when life is happening? How do we tell the real signal apart from all that internal noise? Okay, let's get practical. This is the million-dollar question, isn't it? That feeling you just got, that gut feeling, is it a genuine intuitive nudge from the universe? Like a sudden creative spark or an urge to call an old friend? Or is it just the familiar, nagging voice of your own anxiety, trying to keep you safe, but also keeping you small? This chart really helps us tell them apart. So the voice of fear, it's almost always loud. It's urgent, it's shouting. It makes your body feel tense, constricted, and stressed out. But the voice of guidance, the whisper from the universe, it's quiet, it's calm, it feels expansive and light, almost peaceful. That's the feeling that often nudges you towards those amazing coincidences. But here is the most critical distinction of all, the timing. Fear is a primal, lightning-fast reaction. It always hits you first, and it screams. To hear that quiet whisper of true guidance, you have to learn to just pause, take a breath, and let that initial wave of panic pass. You have to listen for the calmer voice that comes after. All right, so now that we're getting better at telling the signal from the noise, let's apply this new skill to the most important place of all, our own words, our own thoughts. And this is a total game changer for how we think about things like affirmations. You can say, I am wealthy 1,000 times a day, but if the feeling, the actual frequency behind those words is one of deep down lack and disbelief, well, that's the real signal the universe picks up. It always responds to the feeling, not the sentence. So here's a really simple exercise you can do like right now. Say your goal or your affirmation out loud, and then just stop. Don't think, just feel. For about 10 seconds, just notice the sensation in your body. Is there a sense of lightness, an opening in your chest? Or does it feel tight, heavy, maybe a little constricted? That feeling? That's your true signal. So if you feel that tightness, don't panic. The solution isn't to frantically start searching for better words or a different affirmation.
The real work is to gently address the underlying energy, that feeling of doubt or fear that's causing the constriction in the first place. And here's the paradox. It's a little counterintuitive. You don't get rid of that negative feeling by fighting it. Seriously, shouting, "Don't be afraid," at yourself just adds more tense energy to the mix. The trick is to simply acknowledge it with compassion. When you can say, "Okay, I see this fear, and that's all right," you stop resisting it. And the moment you stop resisting, it starts to lose its power and just dissolve. Now, when you truly get the hang of this inner listening, the outcome is, well, it's profound. You shift from being someone who's constantly chasing after things to someone who attracts them almost effortlessly. By listening to your own inner world with this gentle, non-judgmental acceptance, you completely transform your entire frequency. You move from a state of resistance and struggle to a state of flow and attraction. Your mind literally becomes a magnet for the very things you're looking for. Just think about the difference in the energy here. Seeking feels like hard work, doesn't it? It's all about chasing, pushing, and forcing things to happen. It's stressful. But listening, it feels like the complete opposite. It's about allowing, receiving, and just being in a state of effortless flow. And that's really the core message, the ultimate reframe. All that energy you're putting into hunting and chasing for answers and opportunities, it can be redirected. The real power comes when you just stop, get quiet, and simply start listening. So I'll just leave you with this one question to think about. Beyond all the noise, your fears, your doubts, your daily to-do lists, there is a quiet space inside you. And in that space, there's a signal just waiting to be heard. What do you think it's trying to tell you?